Hey man, what's going on, y'all? Peace and blessings. I just wanted to say something real quick because I've been seeing it going on, and I've been seeing how it's been transforming and moving from all industries to just one industry. I'm noticing how even with it's been going on with the media, and it's been going on with now with the NFL, and I see how the NFL always wants to have a theme every year. So this year they're using the essential workers, but when you talk about the essential workers, you can't just minimize it to just one sector, like one group or one field. You know, shout out to the medical field. Shout out definitely to the medical field. But when we and everybody in medical field, and we also can't forget about those home aides that that had to be in the homes or have to be in the homes, and helping those going through this time, and they may be ill or what have you, or may not be, but still putting themselves on the line too, from being in real close quarters, for hours at a time, you know. But when you think about essential workers, you just can't put it in a box. If you're gonna identify with that, you need to big up the postal workers. You need to big up everybody in the food industry. You have to big up everyone in grocery chains, grocery stores, the clerks, the stock workers, the stockers, I should say. We need to big up the education system, the teachers. We need to big up the students as well, because they're putting themselves out there too. And even the children, the young children, they have no choice. They have to go to school. So we can't forget about the children as well. Oh, and schooling from the small kids going through college. We can't forget everyone is put themselves out there as well too. If they had to go into the classroom. So we cannot forget about the education system. Okay. You can't forget about the garbage truck men. That didn't stop. They still had to pick up the trash, and they're putting their health in danger as well too. More so now than ever. We have to big up the law enforcement, okay? Because now if they have to pull a vehicle over, they don't know who they're pulling over. They don't know your status neither. Even though I know that they pull people over and they were still giving you, checking your temperature, and well, I've seen that, but still they don't know who you are and who they're coming in contact with as well. So we have to big up the law enforcement. We have to big up our city and state and our city workers, period. Our county workers, and just state governments, what I'm saying, that continue to push paperwork and make things happen for people to continue to get food assistance or whatever assistance they had needed, whether it was unemployment benefits, even though I know some people probably be still going through that, but it's a pandemic, so it's a lot of work, what I'm saying, a lot of paperwork need to be pushed. So we can't just minimize this thing and just pay attention to one group. We also have to remember truck drivers like myself, because we have to understand one thing. Trucking, you can't get nothing. Everything that you have, everything you may own, is brought to you by a truck. Everything. Okay? So the truckers, we stood tall, and we continue. We do that every day, as well as all that has been deemed essential workers. So we have to remember that. So when you just minimalize it and focus on one group, it's kind of almost like a slap in the face of those who had to get up out of their beds every day during this time, and they put in the work too. And we have to big up all of us who had to suffer during this time. Period. 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 You know, um, we may have lost loved ones, or we had to care for those and put your health for jeopardy by caring for those who may have been ill in your household. Or even if you didn't have to suffer it, you knew of friends or associates who were may have contracted it. So, and you worried about their well-being. So when we think about this essential thing, and then I see how the media and the NFL just are trying to, like, focus on one group or whatever, when at the heart of this situation of the pandemic, it was all about, quote unquote, all the essential workers. But now I see how it had moved after a while. It had moved to just being focused on the medical field, when a lot of people played a part in helping and still continuing to put themselves on the line. Even though none of us who are deemed essential workers can't complain, because we signed up for the job. We may have not signed up for this pandemic, but when we signed up for the job, we knew that those jobs were something that was needed, the people needed. So let's not minimalize this. And if you're gonna talk about essential workers, talk about all the essential workers, all of them. And let me not forget, we got to remember, we got to remember firefighters as well. Everyone that's essential. If I forgot anyone, please forgive me. If I forgot anyone, if I forgot any field that just couldn't work from home, or but we got to all remember one thing: if we were deemed essential and we had to work, we were blessed, because there were those who didn't ask for this pandemic, that didn't have no choice. Some lost jobs, some lost their businesses, that they worked years for, worked so hard to get themselves to a certain point, to now things being slowed down, and most had to depend on state funds to help them keep their households afloat. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for this. No one around the world, whatever, any country that had to deal with this pandemic and dealing with this pandemic, asked for it. So, NFL, I say to you, and I say to the media, let's not minimalize this. We have to shine light on all who played a part. And we have to always remember, none of us asked for this pandemic. And we have to remember all of those who struggled during this pandemic and lost family and friends and associates. We have to remember that. So that's just my message to the media and to the NFL, because I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm like, come on, man, let's stop trying to make money off of and off of something all the time. If we're gonna have compassion and we're gonna show respect, then let's show respect and compassion. That's all I'm saying. Just because we got a new president, that don't mean that this thing is over. We just got rid of one knucklehead, and we have someone else that seems to have a more level head, and someone that knows that, hey, you coming into the office at a time that you have to put things in perspective, because the people have already spoken, and they're just not going with the BS anymore. That's from president, that's from senators, that's from it all. It's not happening anymore. The people have spoken. So I have no choice but to try and make sense of certain things, even though at the end of the day we know that the Senate has the last word. So peace and blessings, man, and that's just my rant for the day. One.